Hi, not the prettiest backdrop. Hello, not the prettiest backdrop I've ever had, but here we are in my garage. It is thundering, so I don't know how long I'll be able to stay out here, but hello. Welcome to Let's Knit About It, or welcome back. It has been a few months since I've posted, but I was motivated to come back and share with you my Tour de Fleece plans. If you don't know what Tour de Fleece is, it's an event. It's like a social, virtual event where hand spinners participate in spinning. So while Tour de Fleece is going, they're spinning, we're spinning. It is July 4th through the end of July. I'll have to look. It might be the 28th, but it might be the 30th, or however many days are in July. I think 30. Oops. Anyways, so here's one of my plans. I have only semi-processed one fleece. I've only been spinning for a little over a year, maybe just right at a year. So I mainly have only spun comb top braids, hand-dyed comb top braids. I have spun one bat and pieces of other bats, and I've scoured and hand-picked part of a fin sheep fleece. That wasn't going so well. That's a whole nother story that I might get into another time, but that's on hold. So it's all clean. Some of it's hand-picked. There's so many noises out here. Some of it's hand-picked, but it's all in bags in my craft room, just on hold for now. I am getting hand carders in the mail soon, and I'll try to process some and see how it spins up. I may even try to just spin some from the cloud, which is something that you can do. So that's when I'll show you. So you have locks like this, and you can hand pick them open. You can also use a little brush and flick the tips open, and it makes puffy clouds. This is not clean, but I could demonstrate. Kind of, maybe. No, I think there's too much lanolin. Anyways, you get the idea. It fluffs up into like a big cloud, and you can spin from the cloud. But a lot of people will either card with hand carders, use a drum carder, or use combs. You can comb and make your own combed top from fleece. And let's see. Okay, that's it. I'm telling you a lot of things that I'm not even trying to show you, but to let you know about my history of spinning, I am just now getting into the world of processing fleece. And here I have a Romney ewe lamb. I don't know if it's ewe, E-W-E, I should know. It might be ewe. Romney ewe lamb. She's about 12 months old, and her name is Wilma, and she came from 3L and S farms out of Michigan. The shepherd is named Peggy, and I follow them on Facebook. I do the WAFA live sales. When I say I do, I'll join and see what people are selling, because they spotlight hand dyers, farms, shepherds, woodworkers, just anybody who is making something that people in the fiber community would be interested in buying. So fiber, yarn, tools, fleece. You know, some people have their roving, their hand-dyed comb top. There's just so much. So it's WAFA on Facebook, W-A-F-A, wool and fiber arts. Simple as that. So I caught Peggy's live really less than a week ago, I think, and I already have Wilma. She's so beautiful. Okay, so Wilma, she's 12 months old. She's a lamb. She's a baby, This, I believe, is her second shearing. It's not, she hasn't been sheared more than that, and I don't think it's her first. I'm pretty sure Peggy said that this was her second shearing, so it's so soft. She's a Romney. Yeah, she's a little baby Romney, and she's really, really dark brown. It's almost black. Do you guys love being serenaded by the crows? We're outside, so we get outside sounds. And I'll probably invest in another microphone, but the ones that I had were not very good. They were like knockoff DJIs off of Amazon, and I just kept trying the different ones. But with all of that effort of buying and returning and buying and returning, I might as well have just bought the real thing. We'll see if this sticks and see if I make more videos. I kind of disappeared because like I didn't want to get camera ready and be all presentable and have a list of things to show and talk to myself. I don't know, I got in a funk, but you guys are here for my fiber arts, not my beautiful face. So I'm showing up just as me, and I'm gonna ramble, and I'm not gonna worry about editing too much. I'm just going to talk about my hobby. And this hobby, if you're here, we share, we have in common. So welcome, thanks for being here. Back to the fleece. So I have Wilma. I don't have any scouring agent right now. I have Blue Dawn, which is what I used for my thin sheep. I actually will probably go grab that and just splice that video in here in just a second. But so I used Blue Dawn for scouring the thin sheep, and I think it worked fine. It's my first time. It's not a great fleece to really like start with, I think, because it doesn't look like this. It does not have pretty locks. It has a lot of short cuts, like second cuts. It's got a lot of bits. It pretty much poofed up just like a big dust bunny looking thing. And I didn't really know what I was looking at, and I was like trying to find locks, and I found some locks. I did. There are some beautiful locks, but there's not many. Most of it is just like a big poofy mess. And that might just be how fin sheep are, but I don't think so. But it might work out. It might work out in the end if I can card it up, make some Rolex, spin it. It's really soft. It's really, really soft. This is really soft too. So I have some soft sheep fleece. What else can I say about Wilma? So I keep wanting to say L&S 3 or something. It's 3 L&S farms out of Michigan. I know how to talk, I promise. Found them on Facebook. She's also on Instagram. This is 4 pounds total. I didn't weigh it, but she weighed it, and it's 4 pounds. But she skirted it first, so it's like 4 pounds of just all usable, beautiful wool. Like, I have found a little tiny bit of second cuts here and there, but like, this is good stuff. I don't have to pick around, you know, the neck where all the vegetable matter can like clump up. I've just learned this, so if you didn't know that, I just learned it. But like, they're eating, and so their neck gets all dirty. The butt, you know, with all the poop and the pee and stuff, that's not in here. So I just got unwashed but really, really clean raw wool. A wonderful experience, a redemption experience for sure. This is beautiful. I'm just like, you know, pulling it, well, I'm pulling it out of the bag that I already actually sorted through. So that's why they're coming out so perfect, is because I already sorted through and got these locks out. So I have a bag here. This morning when the mail came, my husband was outside doing yard work, and I was, you know, sitting in the bed doom scrolling, and he said, "Honey, the mail came." So I jumped up and ran outside, and it was like 100 degrees, and I didn't care. I went through and I was just marveling at this fleece. I'm so excited about it. I feel like such a nerd, but like in such a good way. Okay, so the stable length is like 3.5 inches. Some of them have been longer, some of them have been a bit shorter. If they're too short, like they're like 1.5 inches, 2 inches, I'm hesitant to keep them because I don't think those will draft well. I don't know. I do have a bag of neps and stuff, and any really short bits I've put in there. I'm not like throwing them away. I can go back through them later if I feel like it, but I think I'm gonna have plenty to process without having to worry about like nitpicking the stuff that I already discarded. I think I can trust myself. I think I can trust myself from earlier about, you know, what I picked out to be not ideal for processing. Okay, so here, sorry if the noise is loud. Here is the bag that she came in. See, I have like a ton left. It looks, I mean, really, you didn't see it before, but it looks like I've barely touched it. And then I have gone through and I've gotten this much out. And you do not have to do what I'm doing. I've been going through and pulling the locks, like I'm not pulling them straight up because that makes it really fuzzy. I'm kind of separating like sideways. So like if these are the locks or the, you know, the bunch of locks, I'm like pulling apart like that. And I learned that from someone, I don't remember who, and I don't really remember why, other than my experience of like, you know, if you pull up, it makes like a bunch of fuzzies. But if you pull side to side, it separates really clean. I don't know, I'm just playing around. I don't plan on washing these like as locks and keeping them in their locks. I do plan on just using like this bag. I have a few of these. I'm gonna measure out, like weigh how much I have. I think I can definitely fit a pound in like a Lowe's or a Home Depot bucket. Those are 5-gallon buckets. So I can do a pound at a time in those, or can you see? You can see, I probably should have checked to see what's back here before I just started recording, but who cares? I have these smaller buckets from the Dollar Tree and they fit, I wanna say a 1/2 pound, but maybe a 1/4 pound, just to like more easily manage it all. I will not be using Blue Dawn. I think it worked fine before. Like I don't have any complaints about it, but I've heard so many good things about Power Scour. It's the unicorn clean stuff, unicorn fiber Power Scour. So I ordered that. I ordered it directly from the company. They have a Facebook storefront, they have an Amazon storefront, and it was just easy to go in there and pick that and order it that way. I did shop around for not necessarily the cheapest product because it's all like pretty much the same price everywhere, but different people were charging different things for shipping. So just, you know, I guess my advice for shopping around for things like that, check shipping prices from different companies and different sellers. Like Etsy, I found someone selling it, you know, $22 it's a 12-ounce bottle. $22 for a 12-ounce bottle, which seems like a lot, but I think it's gonna work really well, so I hope it's worth it. Anyway, some people had like $15 shipping, $12 shipping. The Woolery has it, but they wanted like $15 shipping. And if I got it straight from Amazon, it was not a Prime benefit, but it was $10 shipping. So I did it that way. I just shopped around. I did order it from Amazon already, but I had to return it because it's fulfilled by Amazon. It was like a third-party company. Sorry if you don't like Amazon. I use it here and there, but like I use it. But it came to me, you know, fine, Prime free shipping, but it was like sour. It was kind of like spoiled. It didn't smell too bad, but it's supposed to have a lavendery scent, and it smelled like, kind of like rubbing alcohol, and it had flaky chunks all throughout, like floating in the soap. And it was, I don't think it matters that it was kind of yellowed, but it was also like kind of yellowed, which might be normal, but it didn't help the situation when other things about it were kind of weird. So I returned it. So I had it, it wasn't good enough for me, and I returned it. So I have to be patient for scouring. And to go back to my point, I plan on just like keeping it in a bag and submerging it, just like, you know, in chunks. You can, if you want. A lot of people do it. I don't know if they do it with Romney. Like, I'm not super versed in all the breeds and how to best handle processing each breed's specific fleece, because they're all so very different. You've got, you know, fine wools, medium, down, long wools. So like, you know, merino is really, really soft. You buy superwash merino is like the most common yarn that you can buy at the yarn store, and so soft. Even when it's not superwash, it is incredibly soft. Then you have coarser wools like Blue Face Leicester, BFL. And not a lot of yarns are gonna be made of that, like ready to buy in the store, but you can buy BFL as fiber. You can buy it as, you know, you can buy a fleece BFL, you can buy it already processed into roving, comb top, whatever, and it is coarser than a merino. So you've got a whole spectrum of fleece. I'm just dipping my toes into it now. I was hesitant, like when I first started spinning, I was like, I don't think I'll ever want to process a fleece. Here we are. I want to process fleece. And I don't think this will be my last. I kind of love it. But anyways, you don't have to ever process a fleece to be a spinner, but it is something that happens to a lot of us, I think. We get really interested in all the, you know, where did it come from? Let me have it, let me process it, let me clean it, and then let me like make it into roving, and then let me spin it. So anyways, I think Wilma, hopefully, if everything goes well, will turn into a sweater one day. I'm very excited about my Wilma sweater. I'm gonna show you, I'm gonna pull out some chunks of the stuff that I have not sorted through, and kind of just show you how it has come to me. If you buy a whole raw fleece, unskirted, which like means no one has gone through and picked out all the bad bits, so all the poopy bits, all the matted stuff, all the stuff from like the legs, the neck that might be like extra dirty or soiled, you can buy them, and I did. I bought my thin, not skirted. You can just buy the whole thing, and you can lay it out flat, and it looks like the sheep's body laying flat on the ground. And shearing, just to let you know, shearing the sheep is extremely humane. It doesn't hurt them at all. It actually gives them a lot of relief because they're so hairy. Like, this is so much hair. I guess I could pull this out while I talk about this. So it's a necessary part of keeping these animals and like treating them well. You have to get them sheared. For some reason, some people on Facebook, when I bought my fin sheep, were like, I don't know, they were calling animal abuse to the poor lady that was selling it. She's not a poor lady, she's a homesteader. Is she homesteady? I don't know what it's called when you have just like, she has some chickens and she eats their eggs. She has sheep and she'll sell their wool, but she doesn't raise like cows for food, and she has goats and they're milk goats, so she doesn't like raise those for food. I think that's homesteading. Please correct me if I'm wrong. I love to just say stuff and then be like, actually, don't believe me, I could be wrong. So she has like a small hobby farm, we'll say, and people were accusing her of like animal abuse for selling the sheep's wool. So she had to put a disclaimer on the Facebook Marketplace post where she was like advertising her, you know, come, my sheep needed to be sheared and you can come and buy their fleece. She had to put a disclaimer at the bottom of the post saying like, do not message me about me being an animal abuser. This is normal. It doesn't hurt them. Like, you're not getting their skin. We're not skinning them. Anyway, and I know there's like meat sheep. These are not meat sheep. I think most of meat sheep, you cannot use their wool for, you know, the purpose of spinning it, processing it to spin into clothing. I learned that from a friend. So hopefully that is also correct, but I could be wrong. So they're not meat sheep or anything. Yeah, anyway, this process is harmless. So I already have some locks here that I pulled out while I was rambling, so I'm gonna throw those over there. Here is like a clump. Oh yeah, I'll go back. So if you're following what I'm saying better than I'm following what I'm saying, good job. You can lay the fleece, oh, itchy nose. And like, this is lanolin and there could be pee, there could be poop. So like, I'm not gonna touch my face right now because I handled all that fleece, but like I have a tickle. You can lay the fleece out and you can like see, I couldn't tell because I'm so like newbie. Maybe now after doing more research and experiencing that one fleece, I could probably tell better, but you know, you should be able to tell where the neck is, where the legs were, where the butt was, and pick out the bad bits. Throw them away, or people use them in compost, is that correct? You can also mulch your garden and your plants outside with it. There's things you can do to use every bit and not waste any. So I may find some ways, I definitely will find some ways to use like what I've picked out and discarded from picking through this fleece. This fleece has already been skirted, so like I don't think I can lay it out. I might could. It probably is still like put together enough to where I could do that, but I'm not going to do that. She already picked out the butt and the neck and stuff, like I said. So I've just been pulling it out in clumps, and this is what it looks like. And so I don't know if you can see, but I can already see right here is, you know, just where the shears went over. Just like a little piece, and it's not usable. It would make a nip in your finished product, and I don't want nips. You can definitely leave the nips in. I have actually seen shops like selling bags of nips. So they'll sell bags of these, usually they're dyed, that you can mix and blend into your fiber of choice, whatever you're doing. Like, it doesn't have to be a raw fleece fiber, it could be like a combed top, that you can just like add texture with these. But I don't want texture in my final yarn. Maybe that light will stay on. My husband just came up and grabbed something and waved. Maybe the light will stay on. I think you can see better that way. You can leave those in, but I don't want to. But I think I'm safe to say that you can. So I've just been going through and like picking these out, admiring the locks, because I'm a weirdo, and laying them out. Even though I'm not going to keep the locks all neat and tidy for washing, I'm gonna put them in a bag and wash them. But I'm just having fun going through my fleece. Going back to the point of washing your locks, and I'm new, please remember I'm new, so don't take what I'm saying as like hard and fast truth. This is what I've seen, this is what I've learned. I'm still learning and I'm still seeing, like I'm absorbing so much information all the time about this stuff. But I, you know, have seen several different processors, people with fleece, take these locks. Okay, the Duchess of Sussex. I believe that is her name on I believe that is her name on YouTube, but I know that's her name on Instagram. the Duchess of Sussex, Fleece Queen. She also has Fleece Folk. YouTube might be Fleece Folk Diaries. I will try to remember to put that in the comments, and if in the description, I mean, and if I don't and you've made it this far and you want to know, remind me in a comment and I will link her page. But she's who I most recently saw like lay these locks out like flat, and I don't know what kind of bag she put them in. I'm pretty sure it's just like a mesh bag, but it's smaller, like a smaller laundry bag that you maybe can like zip, or has a drawstring, but it, you know, keeps the fibers flat and straight. And she submerges them in like this tub system that is actually genius, and I might have to look into one day. But to scour, and scouring is to, get all the lanolin off, and it also will, if there's like dirt and stuff, it will also like clean the dirt off. If there's vegetable matter, which is like grain, hay, grass, you know, veggie matter that might be stuck. You know, I think there's some, no, my dogs did that. There's just like stuff from my garage that they picked up with their nose and like then sniffed in the bag. Anyway, if I find some, I'll show you, but basically hay, spurs, whatever, that will not come out during scouring, so you can like go through and pick it out before you wash it, or you can wash it, you can scour it, and then after it's dry, you can go through, and as you're like hand picking and fluffing out your fibers, you can pick it out then. It will also come out with combing. It will also come out with combing. I'll try to remember to link also this combing video that I watched a couple nights ago. It is from like a small business selling combs, but like he goes through and shows you exactly how to use them, and like how to decide if you want the fine comb or the finer comb or the extra fine comb, and how much stuff will come out when you're combing and stuff. That was pretty cool. Okay, I'm getting sidetracked mentally. I need to focus. Squirrel. Okay, vegetable matter. Yeah, you can pick that out before you wash it or after. And that reminds me, I have learned the bulk of my scouring stuff. I just had a thought. What if you guys can't hear me? Because I have my phone on a stand. What if it's covering the microphone? I'll have to give you closed captions or something, because I cannot re-record this. I'm on a roll. I can't re-record. I'll forget everything I said. Okay. I have learned the majority of what I know about scouring, and now honestly about like processing in general, from mellyknits. 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 She is on Instagram, YouTube, and then mellyknits.com. She's a hand processor out of Canada. Beautiful bats, beautiful hand processed bats. They get the fleece. Usually her husband, I think her husband shears a lot of the fleece actually that she uses. And I know, of course, you know, she buys from shepherds who have their sheep already sheared. All these words. But yeah, so she takes the raw fleeces and scours them, and her videos on YouTube have been so helpful in me just learning the why and the how, and like the method of, you know, measure this much and make sure your water's this hot, and then if that doesn't work, then at least you have like save the information about like, okay, why did the first batch at this hot with this much soap for this long, and then this happened. So you kind of learn. That's probably really obvious, but it's been so helpful for me. So mellyknits, And I'm also in her Discord, and it's just full of lovely, lovely, lovely wool and fleece and fiber loving people and knitters. So I'm done with that tangent. Okay, I'm gonna show you. This is beautiful. I didn't even really have to pick anything out. I had a couple of nips, like this many nips. That's nothing. I may weigh it before, well, I know I'm gonna weigh it before I scour it, so that after scouring, I can see how much I lost to lanolin, and then whatever little dirt might be in there, but this is so clean, there's literally no dirt. My nose is so itchy. Send thoughts and prayers. I cannot touch. I'm actually pushing it, touching it with my wrist, I think, but you know what? YOLO. I'm gonna weigh it before and after scouring so I can see how much I lost during scouring to lanolin and dirt. It's mainly gonna be lanolin. And, but I was gonna say I may weigh like my little baggie of nips and stuff just to see how much I lost to that, and then let her know how good of a job she did skirting this for me and how amazing she is, because people need to know. People need to feel appreciated, and I really do. I appreciate her. I gave her my money, but that's not enough. I need to send her a love letter. Okay. So I've just been going through and being like, ooh, oh, look, it looks like a French fry. Look at the crimp on that. Can you see? I hope you can see. I hope this camera is good quality enough for you to see the beautiful crimp. It's so crimpy. Yeah, it looks like French fries. Burnt French fries. So, this is boring for you, not boring for me. And I'm just putting it in my bag. Or actually, I was like laying them out so I could see them, like, you know, around me, and then I just gently like put them in the bag. But cute. That's that. Sorry for the loud truck noises. I will scour either this week when my power scour gets here, or I may wait until the weekend so that I have like a full day on Saturday to just focus on scouring, and I don't have to like wait until the evening until I'm off work and then just do a little bit at a time. I don't know. I like to do big batches and just get it all done as if I'm experienced. I did that with my fin and it was nice. I did half of it like in smaller batches, and it took me a couple of days, and then I finished it like the final 2.5 pounds or whatever it was, all at one time, and like laid it out to dry all at once, and it was so satisfying. Excuse me. Bless me. So I'm gonna move the camera and just let you see this process a little bit more closely. I'm so sorry if that was so loud. Crotch shot. So here it is, and I'm just taking it and fluffing it out, kind of. Nope, where are you? Okay. And like here's a little bitty nip. We'll get there, guys. I'll remember where the camera is eventually. This one's perfect, so it goes in the perfect pile. This one has like a shorter with a longer. I'm just gonna leave it. Sorry. I keep wanting to like reference up here for my camera, but my phone is flipped, and so my camera's over there. Yep. Little crimpies. I was kind of looking for a YouTube video like this, and I'm sure there's one out there, but I just couldn't find it, about like show me what it's supposed to look like. Like show me what this fleece is supposed to look like, because I have no idea what I'm looking at. Like, is the big fluffy dust bunny looking mess, is that normal? Because everything I'm seeing is like this. is the fluffy dust bunny stuff normal? And I'm thinking no, it was not normal. And it was fluffy dust bunny looking like before I washed it. So I know after washing, this is probably gonna get all messy, but I am ensuring, here's my little nips. I'm ensuring that like most of it has clear looking locks. And you can tell which is the tip and which is the shorn side, which is important for something. I'm not gonna comb, but it is important for combing. It's probably important for other things. But anyways, these tips are like, you know, curly tips, and they're also a tad sun bleached, which I don't mind. And then the shorn side is clearly cut. Clearly to me with this particular fleece. Oh, I spread it out a little and I see a little nip. I'm gonna take it out. These will come out later too. Like I'll go through and, like I said, fluff, and this is not a nip, but it's like really tiny. Well, maybe no, maybe not too tiny. It's shorter than these, so I'm gonna take it out. Okay, and that's what I've been doing. You don't have to do it like this. I'm just having fun. You can get your fleece and just, like, especially if it's been skirted. Hello. Especially if it's already been skirted, you can just get your fleece and just put it in buckets and go for it and just start scouring. You can also, I've learned you can also, so you can flick the tips open. There's like a tool called a flicker. And I'm pretty sure if you don't have a flicker, you can get like a dog brush that looks like a flicker and it will work the same way. Melly of Melly Knits, that one's kind of short. That was really short. Melly of Melly Knits, she's a hand picker. And so like all of her fleeces are just, she sits and hand picks. She has people who help her hand pick. And that was really satisfying for me to do with my fin, so I'm gonna do that with this. But you can get a tool and like flick the tips open, and then like they're pretty much ready for carding. And then if you are going to comb, this will be in the video that I'm gonna hopefully remember to put in the description, but if you're going to comb, then you do cut size. So like pretend this is the comb. This is probably too much information, like you don't need to know this from me, but I'm gonna tell you a little bit anyway. So here's the comb, and you're gonna like put these on the comb and down and through, and it's gonna like catch. And then you're gonna take the other comb and like comb until all of the good wool is on this comb. And then like what's left over will be, you know, short fibers and neps and stuff that you wanna discard. The not so good wool, the not usable stuff. So in that case, you're not gonna wanna like flick your tips open because you're flicking your tips open by combing. But hand picking and flicking your tips open gets the wool ready for carding or just spinning from the cloud. It makes a big, you know, puff ball, and you can just spin straight from that. So I hope this was fun. I'm gonna go, it was fun for me. I hope it was fun for you and interesting enough. I'm gonna go grab the fin because you've seen this, and if you're still here and you're interested in seeing and like comparing this to the fin sheep, and please don't assume that like what I'm about to show you is typical of fin sheep, because I don't know that it is. I don't think that it is. It's just my experience from this one sheep. I'll be right back. Okay, so I brought a couple of things. I'm gonna go ahead and just show you like most of my other Tour de Fleece plans, since this is a video inspired by Tour de Fleece. First though, the fin sheep that I promised you. So I'm gonna pull out some washed fin fleece. Fin sheep fleece, I think technically it's called fin sheep, like one word. Okay, I don't want to mix it with this stuff, and I already washed my hands, so here's the like, oh, it just like, most of it just looks like this, like cobwebby stuff you would put in your bushes during Halloween. Like just cotton spider web stuff. And then some of it though looks like, you know, I can see locks. Really tight locks. They're still kind of dirty, but you know, locks. And you're supposed to like test your lock strength. And this one is very weak. It's very weak. The fleece is weak. The person that got him sheared and owns him, like, she didn't know, and I didn't know any better, and we're all just learning, and we're all winging it, but this fleece is just not strong. So like, here's some locks, or a lock, and it is just gonna like just rip apart like nothing. And I don't know, I'm gonna have to try the same thing with the other, like with the new fleece once it's washed. But unwashed, Wilma is way stronger than Hershey. His name is Hershey. So I don't think washing it is gonna like make her weak or anything. I don't think it's gonna change, whatever. And there's this thing called the ping test. I hope if this has interested you in the world of fleeces that you go and explore and learn and get into this, because it really is so fun. So like, yeah, found some more locks. It looks like you might not can see it. Sorry for the quality, but most of it just looks like this. And like, compared to the other, my hands are clean, so I don't want to touch it again and then touch what I'm gonna show you next. But back it up a little and compare this mess to those locks that I was just showing you, and it is a completely different experience. So I'm just, oh, and also this Hershey fleece had some dandruffy stuff in it. I think it's just dandruff. I don't know. There's other things that it could be. And I delved deep into that rabbit hole. And then I just decided to put this away and come back to it later. Here's some good. Okay, so this, you can see, I feel like it might be kind of felted actually, this bit. Okay, so you can see that's the shorn side. And this is the top. And I don't know what part of the body this came off of. I skirted it, but again, I did not know what I was looking at, or for really. So I just like discarded a bunch of the matted bits. There was some bits with poop, there was some bits with pee. So the obvious stuff like that, but then like, should I have tossed this? I don't know. Pretty looking locks. And look, I'm doing what I said not to do. I'm pulling it straight out. But even if I pull it this way, they're tiny. They look tiny. Sorry, I need to fix my face. So yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna, I'll show you what I picked, what I hand picked. It's not much. That's not all of it, by the way. I have another bag that's about that full. So this is what it looks like as a big fluffy cloud. I picked it open. So I may try to spin from some of this cloud. Like I could take this and see how it spins. I could even just like with my fingers right now, twist it up for you and show you how that works. And then just like start pulling it out, start drafting it. I don't know, I could do that. I definitely will hand card some. I have my hand cards coming. And see if I can make some like mini bats or some a roll lag or two and then spin that and just see how it does. And if it makes a nice sound yarn, I think why not process the rest of it, even if it's a bit weak. I don't see anything wrong with that, but I'll continue to do my research and look around and see what might be best. Okay. So that is my, like, I'll say my main Tour de Fleece plan. But really this one is also my main Tour de Fleece plan. I really want to, my ring keeps moving around. I just got it resized because I needed it to be smaller and I thought it would just stay put, but it still wants to swirl around my finger. Okay. It smells a little sheepy. And like I can still feel, I don't think I got all the lanolin out of that fin sheep, or it's residue from the Dawn. See, I don't know what I'm doing really. But I'm clean. It's just maybe a little lanolin-y. Okay, so I'm doing a sweater spin. And if I can remember, I keep saying if I can remember, I may go through and watch these videos, but I don't love to watch them over and then edit them and take all the time, so I may not. But if I do, I'll pop in a picture of all of these braids that I'm using for a sweater spin. And then I have them in like little, I have samples in little skeins, like little mini 12 to 14 gram skeins. I could pop in a picture of those. But here's like the tiny little nests that I made. They're in a giant bag. Look at all these colors. I have hot pink, soft pink. I have a few, I have mostly variegated. I've got these like really bright looking sherbet things. I'm really excited. So I'm just gonna combine all of these nests and spin them up and make a huge random chaotic combo spin, and it'll be enough to make a sweater. My samples, I did a 3-ply and I did a chain ply. Let me back up. So all these nests, they were hand dyed comb top from different dyers. They're all dyed, they're all hand dyed, and they were just in my stash. I have a baby fiber stash compared to my yarn stash, and this is most of it. In here is 7.5 braids. And I mean, I'm sure if you're watching this, you're familiar with comb top hand-dyed comb top braids, but they literally are like braided up, and it's like this. It's much fatter than this. And you can spin it however you want. So what I did is I took each, hi, welcome back, or welcome me back, my phone died, so I'm back. And we have a slightly different background. You may see my dogs pop up right here because they want to know why I'm out here without them and what I'm doing. But to continue where I left off, and I'll try not to be too long-winded because I've had you here for a while already, I have a comb top, and I'm talking as if like you're new, but I know like most of you are probably not new at this, but if you're just now coming across me and you're not too familiar with spinning, maybe this will help a little bit. And if I do another video, it won't be so explainy about the details. So if that's annoying, sorry, not sorry. But so all my braids, I unraveled and I hung them up on a hanger. Just like I did it from a nail on my bedroom wall because that's what I had, but like just hang it wherever you can that it's not gonna like disrupt a bunch of other stuff. And I took my sewing machine, I'm tired, my iron, and I used the steam function and I steamed, so if you have a steamer, that's fine, but I steamed the unraveled braid, and that just helps like fluff up the fibers. And that made it easier for me to separate them and then pull strips off of the braid lengthwise. I did end up like tearing it down shorter, so this is not the full length of the braid. They're like really, really long. But it's a strip from one of my braids, and I just rolled it up like this into like a little nest, plopped it in my bag, and I did that for all of them. So I did lengthwise strips, and at this point they really are not all consistent at all. I even might break this one in half. We'll see. Yep. And they're all really soft, but they're not all the same fiber. So I know I have a superwash merino in here. I have a Shanico, and then I think this is Paulworth. So really soft. All of it's fluffy and soft, but like it's not all the same. So this is just to let you know you can mix and match different fiber types if you want to do a combo spin. They are all different dyers. This one is Hello Yarn. The light went off again. Let's see if it'll come back on. Hello Yarn. I have another Hello Yarn in here. I have Atomic Fiber Studio, WeeChickadee, and Nest Fiber Club, and YarnJam. Sorry, Nest Fiber. And I was a part of the club and for 2 months, and I'm using the 2 months that I was in the club, I'm using those club colorways. And so hopefully I remember, and I'll put a picture in right here. If not, you could find me on Instagram. I post everything on Instagram, and it's like all the time. I'm super active over there. So if you do want to find me on Instagram, it's let's with no apostrophe, just because I don't think you can use apostrophes in an Instagram name. So let's.knit.about.it. Let's knit about it, with a dot separating each word. Here's the swatch. I did a traditional 3-ply. Oh, the lighting is bad. Let's see. Come back on, come back on. The motion does not think I'm... There it goes. Okay, that's a little better. I did a 3-ply sample spin. 3-ply, traditional 3-ply. So I just like grabbed a couple in nests and spun singles on 3 different bobbins, and then I applied them together, and I got this. It looks like candy, some people have said, including my husband. He's like, oh, that looks like candy. It's still wet. My swatches are drying, but I'll bring it a little closer for you. It's pretty cute. I mean, they're going together pretty well. There's some light, there's some dark, and they're barber poling. I swatched as if I will make a traveler crew. You could do the hoodie, but I would do the crew. So the Traveler by Andrea Mowry is the pattern that this is swatched from. And then I also made a sample spinning all these random colors, and I chain plied. So it's making stripes instead of barber poling. And I'm gonna take this off. It's also damp. I just washed these this morning. But the pins are making shadows. So I want you to see as best as you can how fun this is. So I'm definitely leaning traditional 3-ply versus chain ply. But I love chain plying. I love the motion. Like, it's my favorite way to ply. I don't even know if I'm doing it right, but it's my favorite way to ply. It looks so good. It makes such a pretty plumpy yarn. But I don't mind traditional 3-ply. That's when you spin 3 singles and then you ply them together. Look, ugh, swatching in the round is the worst. But this is so usable, so if I need it, I can unravel it. But yeah, that is my plan. Oh, it's about a sport weight-ish, maybe like sport to DK. And it wasn't too hard to get that. I just, spun a single that was comfortable for all of them, and then it came out to what I wanted. Excuse me. That's it, friends. That is it for my video. Those are 2 of my Tour de Fleece plans. I have my colorful combed top combo spin sweater spin. This is 7.5 braids and half of a braid. About half of a braid just got separated because it had some like really dark gold and bright yellow that just didn't really go with the other colors, so I took that out. You can do what you want. Like I said, this is just all stuff from my stash. I'm a part of the Stash Dashers team for Melly Knits. Melly Knits has a team called Stash Dashers, and so I'm stash dashing, but I'm also processing a fleece. And then I have one more plan, but it's okay if I don't complete it, but it's like it's ready to go. It's prepped and ready to go. I have 2 braids from Weird Spinster to ply together as a 2-ply. Weird Spinster. I think it's WYRD Spinster on Instagram. Really pretty hand-dyed braids. And I just got those in April, and I'm really excited to spin those up. They're really pretty colors. I didn't bring them out here, but maybe I'll make another video and I'll show those to you then. I definitely will. I'll make another video. I'm gonna film some of my fleece processing process. Please excuse me if I don't look entirely presentable when I do that, because it will be hot, it will be messy, we will be in the garage most likely, and yeah, this is just real life. So I look like this most of the time. I'm spazzy, I get distracted, I'm tired of editing these videos, so I think you're just gonna get me being me. And I hope you come find me on Instagram. If not, that's okay. I know not everyone's an Instagram person, but it really is just like a journal for all of my knitting and spinning. Oh, and I started sewing, so you'll see my sewing adventures on there too. Maybe I'll make a sewing YouTube. I am not good at it. I'm a newbie. I've only made a couple of things, but it's fun. And I'll keep going. I keep looking over there because that's where my fleece is, and I'm trying to remember if I forgot anything, but I don't think I did. If you have any questions, let me know. Also, let me know what are your Tour de Fleece plans. I'm gonna try to upload this first thing tomorrow, maybe tonight, but today at the time of filming, it is July 3rd, and the tour starts on the 4th, so happy spinning. I hope you enjoy it. I hope you get your, meet your goals. I hope you don't pressure yourself or try to do more than you want or more than you can. Let's stretch, let's breathe, let's connect with our friends and our community, because that's like the best part of all of this. I mean, I guess the crafting is the best part, but like, I don't know that I would be this excited if I didn't have other people to share my excitement with and also like cheer you on. So I'm just a big nerd about all this stuff, and I hope you'll follow along with me, and I'll see you soon. Thanks for being here. Bye.